Stop. They tell you that it's all game. What if I told you that's bullshit? For the 52-year-old student, there's no way that the 52-year-old student could have got laid if it's all game. Game, John. Game. There's just not enough value. The guy's 52 years old. He's bald. And do you think it's just because he has some game, a little bit of game, and then he became a slayer? It's not just that. He banged a 25-year-old. He banged a 21-year-old. He had a girlfriend before. He also got a separate blowjob for my training. How the fuck was it done? And I know this is not what you want to hear. I'm going to take this marker and I'm going to draw on my hand. And I'm going to show you how all this stuff relates to each other. Okay, this is easier to understand. So I'm going to write some letters on my hand. L, M, okay, S. See that? Right on the thumb, I write LMS. Looks, money, and status. Of course, this is what it is. This by itself is not going to get you day game results. So this is looks, money, status. This is a good way of explaining it. So over here, I'm going to draw the second part on my hand, which is called social skills. Social skills. So SS. See, these two alone is not very powerful. You can pick up some objects here and there with looks, money, status, and game. Looks, money, status, and social skills. But it's limited because I can only manipulate with these two fingers. The next one is called social calibrations. S, C. See that? Social calibrations. There's a lot of things that I can pick up with just 3 fingers. This is like the value. The thumb is the value overall for the old man. But for him, he's also using social skills and social calibrations. So for example, I can still pick up a gun like this with 3 fingers and still fire the bullet. So that makes it possible with looks, money, and status. I'm just explaining a simple way. Plus social skills and social calibrations is enough to pick up a gun even without these fingers and still fire it. However, now you're going to add emotional intelligence, EI. So I'm going to write EI over here. E, I. So emotional intelligence. Having these 3 is what the naturals have. This gives you a lot more options to pick up objects. For example, like my glasses, I can manipulate them. They may not have the perfect game for real naturals, but these 3 plus your LMS means you can pick up a lot of different objects. You can hold a lot more of the gun and you can have much more control over it. However, this is the game. So I'm going to write the full name game up here. G. Okay, I only got one chance to do it, so I don't fuck it up. A. M. E. Game, right here. G-A-M-E. See, the problem with the game is that a lot of people think that you're trying to hold this gun, and it's very, very hard with just using your thumbs, which is the LMS right here, looks, money, status, plus game. So they don't have social skills. They don't have social calibrations. They don't have emotional control. So therefore, this is the reason why the old man in 2020 did not get laid. So how can you actually pull the trigger with just a pinky? You can, but it's really hard to aim. And manipulating with just these 2 fingers is extremely, extremely hard. You see that? And that's what game feels like. And it depends on your finger strength, which is your ethnicity. So if you're like tall, white, black looking, or Middle Eastern looking, you have higher LMS, higher strength to hold the gun. But if you're an Asian guy and you're short and you don't have this much strength overall, you're not tall or you're not muscular, then you're gonna, or very good looking, then you're gonna have trouble with just looks, money, status plus game. Hope that makes sense. So now that when you start adding these things, it becomes so much easier to manipulate. And then when you add all 4 of them, which is what I teach, plus the fashion and everything, then it's easier to aim and you can be accurate. You can aim it exactly, perfectly accurate. So, exactly. So that's just the thing. Does that make sense? I know a lot of people are dropping off, but I'm just preaching the truth. You think a fucking old bald man who is really unattractive and old is capable of getting a lay just because he is using game? Of course not. And let's take a look at what this student looks like. So, not a very good looking man. Not a very good looking man, is he? Chubby, fat, big belly, but he's wearing a blazer. And here is him banging a woman. And before that, he banged a 21-year-old. But how is it done without game? And nobody wants to hear this shit. But I'm going to preach it anyways. So, hold on a second. Here's him again, banging a 21-year-old. So his social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, and game. Like I said, LMS, not just game, but these categories are just as important. And for some people, they like to say, well, I'm using game, but emotions are important too. So it's kind of like this. It's hard to do it. But for some people with enough grip strength, they can do it. Hope that makes sense. So let's begin. I'm just going to preach it. It's not more push-pull tactics because you're all gaslighted. Because you believe that you start off with a certain amount of value and then you work your way up. But that's just looks, money, and status plus game. That means only certain people will get certain things. Certain super zombie dating coaches may not understand these 2 categories: social skills and social calibrations. All right. So there's not a lot of people. I'm going to preach the truth anyways. So it's not all push-pull tactics. In 2020, so we're going to break down the timing. He trained under me at different years. So at first, he started training under me at 2019. 2019. So the old man took Kaizen. Kaizen. This is Kaizen 1.0. This was not enough to get him laid. I mean, yeah, he got laid, but without Kaizen, it was not enough. So basically, so he got a blowjob, and he also got a girlfriend under the first Kaizen. And the funny thing was, during the first Kaizen, I never taught anything else besides body language. So, looks, money, and status, okay, LMS. Hopefully I made that correct. Let's make it wider. LMS. And he used LMS plus social calibrations. So it's just these 2 fingers right here, without these 2. Can you manipulate objects? Absolutely. Just with these 2 fingers, you can still aim and fire the gun. You see that? This is how a lot of the Asian students got laid, because these 2 things, although it's a little bit flimsy, it was enough to aim and fire and get that lay. However, in Kaizen 2.0, later on in 2021, he was able to add social skills over here, SS, and social calibrations. So this now has 3 components right here. His emotions was not perfect. He still had a grip here because he was taking ashwagandha and other things for emotional control. So it's kind of like this, but it's shootable. It's shootable, if that makes sense. So nobody actually learned any sort of game throughout the entire pandemic. Nobody learned game at all. I did not teach any game tactics because during the pandemic, I raised the students' fashion. So LMS over here. I raised mostly in the beginning just the social calibrations, SC. But nowhere did I raise. Now afterwards, lockdown 2, because of the London student, I added social skills with it. Does that make sense? I added social skills with it. And then around lockdown 3, now added a little bit of, ashwagandha in a lot of different ways for the students to learn how to relax. They have to learn how to speak slower. But in most cases, it's just these 3. And that can manipulate this in aim. And for the people telling you, oh, game, it's just more game. Game, let me ask you a question for game, for the people dropping off. Do their products actually have any late testimonials for a game? And just LMS? You vaporize your entire summer away and you've been gaslighted. It's funny because none of you have gotten laid from their products. So what exactly are they teaching? Are you sure you are not being funneled by a product that is so technical that it just doesn't work? It became so fucking technical and it's confusing to the point where you think you're learning something. You're learning zombie game. But for some reason, when you're learning LMS plus game, it was so technical that you're confused. And the more confused you get, the worse you get in Daygame. And the worse you get in Daygame, and you're trying to aim with just these 2 fingers, oh, I can't get to work. I have low LMS. And the game, this is like the social skills. This is without the social skills for the trigger. If you had social skills in game, it would have been at least aimable. It's not going to be perfect, but if you got social calibrations too, SC, it's easier. You see that? It's easier to aim. You can have a good grip. But if you're just having game, because the game has a zombie social skills, not a real social skills, it becomes very flimsy. It becomes very hard to even pick up objects, never mind pick up women. You can't answer the question, where are all their late testimonials for their products? It's been like a couple months during the summer. Your whole summer vaporized. It's gone. And the old man did not learn game. That's the funny thing. During the whole pandemic, none of the students actually learned game. Isn't that weird? They're always using social calibrations. Social calibrations. They were not learning. Finally, in lockdown 2, they're learning social skills together and became way more powerful. Because now you have to fit into a tribe. Because there's a pandemic. Sure, their game stuff would work just fine, not for every student. If you divide all their late testimonials and I have 35 times more or 50 times, whatever the number is, compared to even second place, third place, whatever, more than 40, more than 50 times more than 100 times. In Crap Brisbane King's case, more than 481 times because he has 0. Todd V has only 3 late testimonials. Is it really technical game? Self-proclaimed high late count guy, 3 late testimonials, 3. So is it really game? Of course not. Game, I'm not saying it isn't game, but game isn't everything. Because for the old man, he's only got so much LMS. He's 5'7", very short. He's my height. He's bald. He's ugly. He's one of the ugliest students, if not the ugliest student I have. And let me tell you the truth about his LMS. If he wasn't wearing the right watch, for example, he was wearing a Rolex-looking one. If he wasn't wearing the right blazer, and if he tried to change the dress shirt to any other one or pants and not wearing his elevator shoes, guess what happens? He doesn't get the time of day from the women. Not a single woman will even stop. You know that? So you take away the elevator shoes, you have a 0% stop rate. That's how low his LMS is. You take away the blue dress shirt, 0% stop rate. Women will run away. And that has happened over and over. It's only when he has these pieces, which is so calibrated, was he even able to open. So the first time he pulled for the very last woman, 25 years old, the first time he tried to pull her home, he did not close because that's 2019 when he got his first lay. Around 2020, he joined the program Elite 60, and he was very resistant. In the program, the other students, one guy is engaged, the other one got married from it. So it's a very powerful program, Elite 60. But he didn't get laid from it, which is kind of fucked up because he was resistant. He was so resistant. So I'm going to write that down. Okay. So I don't write here with a Sharpie because I can't delete it. But in 2020, Elite 60, 0 lays. Then what happened after Elite 60? I kicked him out of the fucking program. It was like a 2-month program, but he dragged it on with his, his mindsets. That means it's not some luck that he got laid because he used some massive game. No, he started to lose his skills. So for his social skills and social calibrations over here, SS, SC, he started to lose that over time because he dragged on forever. So I told him to fuck off. And I said, you can still use my Elite Playbook. For the Elite Playbook, which is a game product, of course it works. But it is better if you learn Elite 30 first and build a playbook on top of it. But he was only focused on game. So later on, around 2020, to maybe 2021, I told him that he can only use his Skypes if he can pull a woman home. He's only done it a few times. So he only pulled, but not laid. Not laid. And then this is what happened. He pulled a woman home and didn't close. And you're thinking to yourself, well, didn't he get fast results? No, because in 2021, he begged me for Kaizen 2.0. So at Kaizen 2.0, he got 2 results in the first week. So first week, okay, why is this not working? First week, okay? The first week, he got a lay with a 20-year-old who's 8 out of 10 in looks. So what happened during that time? And later on, 1 week after Kaizen, he got a second lay. And for that one, she is around 7 out of 10, but she was like the one he pulled before. So lay. This is 1 week after. 1 week after. So what exactly happened during Kaizen that made him successful? That's a good question. Hey, your hair looks good. Oh, thank you. How much? Oh, Kaizen is $1,225. So yeah. So basically, for his LMS, looks money status, during 2020, it was not enough when he was losing his social skills, SS, and social calibrations. These 2 categories, which in the past he would have been able to shoot just fine, he didn't learn social skills. He just learned social calibrations. So he's only holding with these 2 fingers for Kaizen. This is before the pandemic. He was still able to kind of shoot and still got that girlfriend. The aim was not perfect. His LMS, was not perfect, but he built a good lifestyle. At least he had a good Instagram. And eventually all that worked together. During 2020, that's when he took Elite 60. When he took Elite 60, he didn't get that lay while the other students got engaged and the other one got married, the Indian guy. And that's a top secret program. I don't let people take it unless they've taken my other programs. There's no sales letter for Elite 60. It is a program that you learn copywriting, you learn sales, you learn all. That guy made 2.2 million and fucked me over. It's very powerful. Let's just say that. In the contract, he was supposed to give me half. But however, for this student, he was dragging it on. For the 5 mindsets, do you remember what they are? How teachable or coachable you are. How adaptable you are. How much skill do you have? How much is your belief and your thoughts and feelings? And he has very low thoughts and feelings at the time. So these 2 skills were disappearing. So he was basically holding the gun like this, trying to shoot it. He can't do it because LMS is just not enough. You see that? There's not enough to shoot. He does not have enough looks, enough value. And sure, he built his status because during Elite 60, I built him a cool Instagram. I built him a cool lifestyle. I built him even a cool social media presence. But however, that was not enough because these 2 are necessary, social skills and social calibrations. That's how he got the lay. So basically, in the very first week, he spent 7 days because he didn't have the skills. He had it before for this one. In this, looks money status. and social calibrations. However, he was still fucked up with the emotional control. He was opening his mouth and he was leaning back like this when he's talking with women. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, why are you leaning back like that? I don't know. Dude, you look like somebody cut off your stomach and your spine and stuff, like guts are showing. He's like, I don't know what's happening. He's like talking to women like this. He's all scared. I was like, oh my God, you can't open your mouth and look like you are getting executed. It's like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You're not getting executed. So his cortisol was out of control. So that's when I figured out it was not just the ashwagandha. There was also another component to it. For the cortisol, the adrenal gland, there's the cortisol and there's the adrenal gland. So there's two different type of things that pump out. Cortisol is corticosteroid, and the other one's called adrenal, which pumps out a lot of like protein, lipids, and all sorts of different things. But it's not the corticosteroid. He was pumping two things out into his bloodstream and getting freaked out. So, however, after the first week, however, he'd been working on, got his LMS back, and we even fixed his apartment. My Pakistani mentor, I consulted with him. I said, dude, this guy's apartment's creepy. This woman he can close. She looked at the bed and there was no bedpost on the bottom. It had no legs whatsoever. And I was like, what the fuck? That looks like a creepy bed. It's stuck on the ground. You gotta get a new one. So I contacted my Pakistani mentor and say, we are going to design you a brand new place. So my Pakistani mentor says there was too much stuff in the bookshelf everywhere. It's creepy looking. So he bought a new shelf that covers everything from IKEA. And I told him to get the certain type of bed. My Pakistani mentor said get a desk, get certain pictures that white girls will like. I also suggested a picture of David, which is the picture of Michelangelo's work. So what is your game exactly? I mean, my game is very simple. LMS plus social skills, which is a social skills flow drill. Social calibrations, body language, emotional control, not about emotional impact, because you could be like a zombie, just consistently trying to vibe and trying to flirt nonstop with romantic sexual bullshit. Especially, not everyone fits into that frame. So the ones that don't fit into that frame will not become a testimonial. And then lastly is game. I have an Asian style game, but I'd rather you work on these three first. Make sense? Because even with social skills and this one, those flimsy, but if you add social calibrations, you can still aim and shoot and get a lot of results. And if I'm really wrong about it, how come I have the most late testimonials for COVID-19 and for as a day game coach? I'm the only one in the world that has this much. There's no company that has this much. Not UMP, not other dating coaches, not Justin Wayne. None of them have anywhere close to me. So when they say they have the best products and shit, I would say, really, not even one fucking late testimonial. And the old products only had like 5 late testimonials total for 3 products. That cannot be considered the best. This is why I don't need to make new products, because they already work. They worked before COVID, they worked during COVID, they worked during the Delta, they worked during the lockdowns. Their stuff is just to funnel you into long 6 months to, like Justin Wayne, to mastery type of programs, and then into a boot camp. By the time you pay $10K and you're in specific cities, that makes it easier for you using alcohol, then you already lost like close to 8K. I'd rather get you laid fast as possible, so that way you become a video testimonial. And after that, I make more money. I get more clients. I don't give a fuck about putting you into a long chemotherapy. And that's the problem with game. Game is right here, game. And this one. It's hard to aim. This is not even the real social skills, Hamas. This is not a real social skill. It's hard to even pull the trigger here. This is a 5-pound trigger. It takes a lot of effort to do that. And not everyone's going to be strong enough. And if you look like a tall white or a tall black or a tall Middle Eastern, then you have a stronger grip strength overall for the hand, because you have a higher natural status. If you're Asian and you're short, you're not like a tall token Asian or big barrel chested 5'10" Asian, then this is going to be very, very hard using just Game, because Game is just a LMS delivery system. You can't pull the trigger. No, I'm a very strong guy. I'm a very short guy, and I look like I'm very skinny, but I'm a very strong guy. But this is really hard to pull. This is why they don't even have late testimonials, because now there's like a wind everywhere, you know? There's the target, the wind, because COVID. It's like, whoosh, you can't even fucking aim. You can't even aim this fucking thing. And then you got rain everywhere, and then you got flooding there, and you got a hurricane here. That's what COVID-19 is like. But it didn't matter, because my student for Kaizen 2.0, as soon as he learned the social skills and he mixed it with the LMS, before that, he didn't get laid. He pulled a few times. I kicked him out. He was using the playbook alone, which is fine. Some of the students still got laid during COVID-19 with the playbook, but what they did was they practiced Elite 30 first to combine the social calibrations with the game. So even with the social calibrations in the game, it was enough for them to pull the trigger. You see that? It was enough to pull the trigger. So that was the old students. They had social calibrations and game. Elite 30, Elite playbook. But always start with Elite 30. The Asians love to jump to the game. So the Asians can barely aim. They aim at their own foot, and then they try to shoot their own fucking foot off. Does that kind of make sense? This metaphor is not that difficult to understand. It's not all game. And if you think it's just that one finger for the old man, it's all game. He's already failed with game in 2020. During COVID-19, he was emotionally devastated. It's almost like this finger is gone. These two. He was so devastated. He was freaking out. I was like, what was wrong with you? You look like a deer in the headlights, Mr. 2020, even 2021. Now because I talk about the cortisol or corticosteroid, which is part of the adrenal gland. I also talk about there's a second type of adrenal stress, adrenaline and cortisol, pumped into the system. Now I finally figure out a way to stop the fucking adrenals and the cortisol together. Both of them are finally able to stop. Oh, you're a great storyteller. Oh, thank you very much. I just have no idea. I'm just speaking my mind. I should be reading from a post, but I'm just winging off the top of my head. But when you look at it, so the first thing that old man did, because he can barely, his emotions are fucked. He's trying to use game. He could not even pull the trigger. It was too much strength for a 5-pound pull. So in real guns, they have a different weight of a trigger and the overall strength of the hand grip. If you're white, black, or Middle Eastern, you have a stronger grip strength. But for the old man, he just couldn't pull the trigger. He couldn't get it done. LMS plus game just wasn't able to get it done. And this guy has such low value. You guys think, oh, he's white, he's easy. No. It's a miracle. When you saw the last YouTube live, when you heard the old man's late testimonial, a lot of people started to believe again. And they realized one thing is not all game. So the very first week of Kaizen 2, he had to learn this thing again. Social skills, SS. You see that? So he got his LMS back up. You got your clothing? Yep. Okay. His emotions are still fucked. His finger is cut off. Like John Wick. However, he still has his LMS. He got his outfit back out. He got his elevator shoes back out. Everything is good to go. He spent 1 week learning how to use just this tip. You see that? He didn't use anything else. It's hard to aim, but he'd been spending 7 days with the triangular social skills flow drill. But he was able to get some shots off. And eventually, at some point, with his indicators, this is a new concept for you guys. It's called indicators of social skills. IOSS, indicators of social skills. So Mr. Reese's indicators of interest, doesn't matter. It's indicators of compliance, which I invented. But this one's called indicators of social skills. Let's write it down. So this new concept, indicators of social skills, is what really the women noticed. And guess what? She is 8 out of 10 in looks. She's 8 out of 10 in looks. She's 21 years old. She saw indicators of social skills, and she got really, really turned on from an old fuck like that. It wasn't the game. He didn't use game anymore. He spent 1 week every single day with me, back and forth, trying to perfect the social skills flow drill. Of course, I didn't know he was so freaked out there, but he got his fucking lay. That's for a lot of dating coaches. They just think, oh, you got to. No, it's because the indicators of social skills. This finger over here, dude, this is the trigger finger, social skills. See that? It's a very powerful trigger finger. Does that make sense? The social skills is the most important by far. The inner circle, my Pakistani mentor, is a master of social skills. Master. This is what he said. He said, John, well, he doesn't call me John, right, in real life, but now he has to call me John because he knew me from so many years ago. He'd been mentoring me for a lot of years. I started teaching in 2012, but he knew me before then. So, calling Gary, a fucking stupid name. I hate that. But I was like, call me John. It's like, what? Just fucking call me John. I'm John from now on. Okay. I digress. Never call me by my first name. I hate it. Brings back a lot of bad memories. But he said PUA domination or social skills is PUA domination. That's what he says. Social skills is PUA domination. I don't know what it means, PUA domination, but I think you guys understand it. He believes with social skills, you can infiltrate every single tribe. Because the reason why you guys are rejected during COVID-19 with a technical zombie game is because it's autistic. Because this is not social skills. You're pretending to have social skills here. It's all game. But the real social skills, the real one, is something that the super zombie dating coaches they don't have access to. Naturals have it. All these naturals I know are all millionaires. They all are rich, multimillionaires, and they have perfect social skills. They socialize with everyone. It's like they're sharpening their sword. Does that make sense? Because I remember showing you a video before of a sword. Okay? That every single time they talk to somebody new, they are actually just grabbing a sword and they're sharpening it. Does that make sense? They're sharpening their sword so that way when they talk to people, this social skills over here get sharper. Sometimes my Pakistani mentor told me not to tell anyone this, but I bring home like 2 female friends just to sharpen my sword. And I was like, dude, that's brilliant. So you don't have to go out there and talk to men and women. Nope. You can sharpen it with female friends. And then he brought 2 fuck buddies home. And then afterwards, he got 15 lays with women, all 9 out of 10. And when they looked at me, they kind of like, they're like, what the fuck? They're like, Asian? Ugh. They're almost grossed out by me, but he's not good looking. He's just like the old student. He was not good looking. But however, he is still 5'11". He's not a short guy. While he's not physically attractive at all, he's probably the last person you think he's the biggest Casanova in the world. But how he did it was social skills. And his body language is perfect. His emotional control, man. So what are you saying, John, as a white 5'11", 20-year-old guy, I can confirm that your stuff makes much more sense than what Peter Mark. I see Todd Valentine showing the same stupid poll picture, and Todd Valentine does not have this one. You see that? Social calibrations. Because Hunch Valentine, you can see in his newest picture, for example, he's hunching like crazy. That's why he can barely get pull infields, because he does not have this finger over here, this pillar. He doesn't have much social skills. He's only using gamey game. And although he is tall and white, and he has a medium trigger pull, he is still 5'7" like me. With a bad hunch, it is almost impossible for him to get more infields. He's only got 3 lay testimonials for Todd V. I don't know why anyone will give Todd V any sort of credibility, because for Todd V, how is he a dating coach? He has 3 lay testimonials. He has 3 infields where 2 of them he walks into a cab. You think I'm joking? If you look at Todd V's YouTube channel, let's see it, Todd V. I can't even make this stuff up. His latest video is once again him trying to pull another fucking cab. Let's look at the picture right here. See that? The Todd V cabbie. See that? Hunch. He's hunching and he's walking her in a cab again. Always that fucking stupid cab picture. Just because somebody walks in the cab doesn't mean it's a pole. It's like an incident, and they stop halfway. Unless he walked her home, he only did that once. He only ever walked her into a hotel once in Las Vegas. How the fuck is he advanced? Because the zombies love the technical game. They love the technical game because it feels like it's a fancy shooting technique, you know? The secret is not it's not the game. The game is not what I taught. The entire COVID-19, I didn't even teach any sort of game. I'm losing my voice. So it's all social skills. You want to cut down and get women above your look scale as the old man. And just like my Pakistani mentor, it is 100% social skills as one of the biggest things. Body language is just as important because you can see with Todd V, he doesn't have a lot of student results. So now you can kind of see this whole concept shows you need more value just to be able to aim. And your LMS is different depending on your race, depending on your height, depending on your lifestyle, your Instagram. There's all sorts of things there. But they never talk about the social skills and the social calibrations because this is the real half-truth pill. They don't even have a single late testimonial for the product. How could that be? They're like, oh, it's all game. Well, where the fuck are their late testimonials for their products? Doesn't exist. In fact, almost nobody has a late testimonial for their products during COVID-19 except me. Maybe self-proclaimed high late count guy got it too. He's only got like 3 Daygame late testimonials. 3. Game. LMS. Status. But it's not enough. Who gives a shit about Tinder testimonials? Or their stupid night game. Night game at least counts for something. Tinder is no big deal. Daygame counts for something. But if he only has like 3, I believe, he's tied with Todd Valentine. This is what happens when you have the zombie game. These dating coaches are called super zombies. They don't understand the inner circle. They don't have the social skills. They really try to manipulate and try to make it seem like they're in a fancy way pulling the trigger and aiming. They're just inventing some techniques like, oh, I'm going to do this special center access relock with one finger here, and I tilt it to the side, and I'm going to aim like that, you know? But that doesn't mean anything. You can confuse, just like with Todd V. They're trying to look fancy. Look at me. I'm going to hold it up to the wall, and I'm going to slowly aim it and do it fancy shit. No, Todd. No, Todd. No. This is why my student, this old man, was using LMS plus social skills, which he learned in the first week of Kaizen that got him to 21-year-old. But what happened afterwards? He had to spend the time to learn the second piece. So the first one, the second one, social calibrations. So once he finished with his 7-day flow drill, which is a brand new addition to Kaizen. Before, I didn't teach the 7-day flow drill because I didn't think it was as important, but you need it for COVID-19. Afterwards, he learned that. Then he started learning the body language, which is the social calibrations with the social skills. Now he has these 2. He can aim a lot better. He was still having problems with the emotions. It's almost like this finger is fucked. You can't really aim with it because he was having too much cortisol. One of the students quit recently because he had too much cortisol, adrenaline. And I was like, dude, I want to get you that late, but he just like shuts down because he's too scared. When he talks to women, he talks too fast. So for the old man, as he's seen in these videos, he was always like, blah, 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 blah. So was the other guy. They both were like fast. German's a fast language. This is fast. It's like, that's how Hitler talks. So the point is, it's a very, very fast language. And a lot of the students that have the cortisol problem, adrenal problem, usually it happens with the Indian students because the first language, Hindi, is very fast. And for Vietnamese students, they also talk very fast. That's how they talk like. So when they talk to the women, they're like, excuse me, I have a question. You look, that's what happens when adrenaline right here affects the emotional intelligence or emotional control. Do you see that? So it fucked up the Vietnamese student and also fucked up the old man. So the old man did not get the second lay during Kaizen 2.0. He got the first lay. So what happened afterwards was that he spent 3 weeks. So the first week, I didn't know he was talking so fast until I listened to his infields. I was like, what the fuck is this? Holy shit. And then the second one, John's the best coach. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Marco, afterwards, we should talk today if you have a day off. So I'm sorry I've been so busy lately. Marco over here got 2 girlfriends under my training. And when I finally gave him some attention to like some advice, just a few here and there, few fashion advice, few things, do this, do that, he pulled 2 women home in the beginning of his Skype. I know I've been delaying things. I'm sorry. So I'm going to have to teach you the social skills flow drill. So Marco, this is like the social skills. So this is LMS. So if you mix them together, you can still shoot. Although the aim is not perfect, it is much better. And then the second one is the social calibrations, Marco. You need to start practicing Elite 30 if you want to get like the 10 fuck buddies, like the other London guy. The other London guy first only focused on social calibrations. So he was aiming like this. He can barely get a same day lay, but he finally got that lay. It took him a lot of approaches because COVID's harder with all the wind and everything. Whoosh, all the water, all the rain, all the hurricane. But he finally got that Brazilian same day lay. But then when he learned the social skills, what happened with the London student? One target after another. One shot, one kill. One shot, one kill. One shot, one kill. 11 women, 10 fuck buddies, 5 some, 2 models, and 1 model girlfriend. Holy shit. This is the secret, guys. I've never taught game during COVID because it doesn't work. You're like, what? How can you say that, John? I thought you were teaching all this game tech. No. I'm teaching social skills and social calibrations. This is the big secret that nobody wants you to know. Nobody wants me to talk about it because these 3 over here is enough to get you that shot off, that lay. Nobody wants to talk about it. So that's the reason why they don't have any lay testimonials, because zombie game is just not enough. Mindless zombie game is not enough. Marco's using one tactic after another, but he's using the LMS with the fashion and the hairstyle. See that? He's using that one with the hairstyle, the fashion. And then he pulled. But however, he still needs to work on his social skills for the flow drill. And your body language needs to be tighter to be like the London student. You're a very chilled guy, Marco, so you have this thing, right? This is how you pull. You try to shoot with a ring finger. It's hard to shoot with a ring finger, man. You know, the emotional control. But you're a chilled guy. You're a Latino guy. You know, all of them are chilled when you talk to women. You missed her. You missed her. You see that? It's hard to aim like that with the emotional intelligence, EI, or emotional control. It just wasn't enough. So you missed it, but you pulled 2 women home. It was close, but not on target. You see that? It wasn't a game. You try to use a little bit of game. Not during COVID, dude. If it were a game, you know, then everyone would just have all their products, like one late testimonial after another. No. Because there's more than game. Sometimes they're even talking about emotions. So for the guys who have more value, the super zombie dating coaches, they are not just depending on game LMS. They have hidden value. Their LMS or their natural status is much higher. You see that? This is not enough. So they use the vibe too. So they kind of hold like this, maybe the one here. And they might be strong enough to once in a while get a shot off. You see that? Most people cannot use this. If you're short and you're skinny, you're Asian. That's why they get taller guys, because they can vibe their LMS. And they'll miss sometimes, but eventually something will hit. Eventually something will hit. So what do you do? Game Fortnite? What do you game Fortnite? What are you talking about? Fortnite. Don't play video games. That's so stupid. So yeah. Does that make sense? I have a system of game that is designed for Asians. My game is very simple. Very simple. Number 1, keep her on the line. So before we talk about that, the second thing that made the old man got laid was indicators of alpha body language. IOAB, IOSS. So what happened was when the old man, after Kaizen, what happened? Now he finally has the social skills. He'd been working on the body language for a week because I made him a piece of paper that tells him exactly what exercises he needed to fix. And then he was taking the supplements for an extra week, which is why I wish the other student did not quit. Because he had an emotional problem. He was too much cortisol. And for the old man, the cortisol finally got under control. He didn't use any game. You see that? But man, 3 fingers, boom, right away. It's just right between the eyes. For him, he got enough aim. She saw the indicators of social skills, indicators of social calibrations. His body language was different after Kaizen. The first time he pulled her, he didn't close. The second time, he talked slow like this. Even his other friends are saying, if you keep talking slow like this and confident, I'm going to punch you in the face. And then one time he was like, John, I was asking this German woman, is she like my fast speech? And she liked my fast speech, John, so you're wrong. I was like, fuck you, you fucking zombie piece of shit. She didn't fuck you, and she left after a minute, you dumb fucking idiot. And of course, he still thought he was right because the zombies like to think they're right. After that 25-year-old, after he fucked her, she said to him, hey, your speech is kind of slow. I find it disconcerting. So he's like, John, she said she finds my speech disconcerting because I'm talking slow and confident like this. I was like, well, she fucked you. He's like, what? She fucked you. So it's not what a woman says. It's what a woman does. And they respond to these well. These 3 well. Because he's calmer, better body language, and social skills. She knew that he was in the in tribe. You guys got to know in a Western country, when you are trying to use gamey tactics during the Delta variant, you are part of the autistic out tribe. You're going to get automatically rejected. Like, you're going to get really hard rejections over and over. And a lot of you have experienced that because you're using game. Because you think the old stuff before COVID-19, when women had money, when there wasn't a pandemic, and when women were validated by Tinder and validated by Instagram, once in a while, after thousands of approaches, maybe 500, whatever, some of you were able to close. But then COVID-19 happened. Only my students kept getting laid over and over and over during COVID. But why is that? Because John did not focus on this. Because John knew that this is part of the out tribe. See that? So John focused on this first. And then afterwards, a London student, now this. Because after he learned the social skills flow drill and he got like 10 fuck buddies, now all the other elite access students need to learn this, which is how the other Indian student lost his virginity during COVID-19. He still needs to get his body language up to par, but his social skill flow drill was pretty good. You guys see it? All the students, you look at the Middle Eastern guy, all he learned before was just social skills and social calibrations from Elite 30. That's all he learned. He didn't learn anything else. That's all he kept talking about in his testimonial. Every fucking test. Look at the Asian guy testimonial. Do you remember the guy who talked about there's wildfires in California 1 year ago? And he still lost his virginity. And he says it's all social skills. Is this starting to click now? John was secretly not teaching you game. John was teaching you this. And the ashwagandha helped with this. You didn't need to have the perfect emotional intelligence. Because if you were a zombie and you were creepy and autistic without these two, guess what happens? You're vibing your creepy zombiness anyways. You're going to turn her off. Turn her off. She's going to be like sand coming out of her vagina. That's how much you're going to dry her fucking vagina when you do your zombie emoting, flirts, excessive flirts. But then you realize that to build attraction, like I talked about before for the flirting video, if you had the perfect body language right here, it automatically builds attraction gradually. You see that? It goes up slowly, up slowly, up slowly, up slowly, up slowly. In the beginning, it's not all the way up, but at the end of it, before you reach the end state, it's already hitting the top. Is that funny? It's that simple. So during lockdown 1, the reason why I was able to get so much student results was because this thing, these two, haircut, this, that, was more than enough to pull the trigger. It wasn't perfect, but because they had body language versus game, it's almost like everyone that used game got rejected because it was autistic. It was zombie-like. So everyone during lockdown 1, a lot of the RSD victims quit. A lot of them want to commit suicide or they dropped out of the game. Now I was like, yes, perfect. Just get rid of these zombies. Lockdown 2, they just became very, very suicidal. In lockdown 3, they had no chance. They're all dead, which is good. Oh, but RSD is not teaching like game anymore. They're teaching business. Doesn't matter. They still have a grip on your fucking minds. But now you realize that's the big secret. I was just teaching social skills and social calibrations. But social calibration is first, social skills second, due to the London student. Do I need to teach game? No, I'm just making them take more ashwagandha and something for the adrenal glands, the vitamins and stuff. That's it, to chill them out. Marco's already chilled, so he pulled. You see that? It's a perfect formula. And for the people asking about the game, it's not really difficult. The game is very, very simple. It's just to keep her on the line. So when you're asking, what are John's game tactics? What are John's game tactics? It's very, very simple. Let's see here. This is a line. This is the insta-date. You see that? Right? It's not difficult. It's not some stupid chart that goes up and you start at a lower place. That has nothing to do with anything. Because they have a lot of hidden value that they don't tell you about. The natural status, the hidden natural status, perceived natural status. They also have like a foreigner advantage in certain countries in Europe, in Eastern European countries, not just Western or Central. Don't you guys get it? It's all a status game for them. They already started up there with a high golden ratio. And they look like a race that is not their own. It's that simple. So it's not like, oh, I start lower and I'm working on bullshit. It's all about this. See that? This is the real formula. 20 out of 35. I've not been able to break the 20 out of 35 formula. So if she's giving you fucking trouble in the beginning and you're talking super fast, you're off the fucking line. You see that? If you don't tease her here, then she's back on the line. You understand that? It's not rocket science. But is that easy? Yeah. She's fucking finally listening, right? Good. She's talking too much. Then fucking, if you don't flirt here, guess what happens? It's really simple. It's hot traffic, warm, and cold. You see that? Hot, warm, and cold. If you do not flirt here, guess what happens? This line turns into blue or whatever. I don't have a blue one, but it turns into a platonic line. It's not rocket science. It's not fucking rocket science. And now she's giving you a fucking attitude again, right? She's like, right? You don't have to push pull here, but you tease. Well, now she's back on the line. So it's about keeping her on the line. And if you don't tease right here, right, she's going to go from warm to cold. You understand? When she's cold, and which is called like the sand coming out of her vagina cold, then she walks away. So that means the whole thing is like walking a tightrope. It's really a game of rock, paper, and scissors. It's Jordan Belfort keeping her on the line. So as long as you talk over here for 6 to 8 minutes, you have an automatic insta date. Does that make sense? So you already have an automatic insta date. So what's the point of all of the gamey shit to build attraction? The only reason why they do that is because they're hunching. They don't have this. Because the attraction goes up gradually like this. You see that? And if you want to spike it, now you have this stuff and all this stuff. You see that? So your attraction is always building up and up and up. And your social skills is getting her to talk more and more on the line. You see that? It's not difficult. The whole concept is bullshit because they say, oh, if their looks are lower and their value is lower, then they have to slowly work their way up. Work their way up. Gotta work. No, that's so fucking stupid. If you tease at the right time, and you could turn the warm into hot traffic, right? Does it make sense? If you can turn the warm into hot, then it'll shorten the time. You see that? If you don't flirt, warm or hot becomes warm. Now you're lengthening the time for the lay. Does that make sense? You're still getting comfort by using your social skills to open her up, to keep her on the line. Your body language is building the attraction. You don't need a bunch of game flirty, fucking autistic, fucking gamey, missing everything, stupid fucking game shit, autistic zombie shit. These two, man, these two keeps her on the line. You only need a little bit of game just to tease at the right points and then flirt at the right point. Everything else is just mental masturbation. Everything before the instant date, if you can get her to talk for 6 to 8 minutes and you have perfect body language and you had perfect social skills, guess what? Every single set becomes an instant date. Then why you need all this stupid push-pull, all these challenging, all this fucking, oh yeah, I'm going to use another tactic here, romantic sexual shit. I'm going to use like fucking flirting. I'm going to do the... What the fuck does that have to do with anything? Are you guys retarded? Look at me. I'm pretending to have social skills, zombie skills. The women can't even speak English. And get away with that shit. With high LMS and deny it. Stupid. This is why my students have all the lay testimonial. This is the real formula. 20 out of 35. If the students have enough of these value, 20 out of 35, even if they don't get laid the first day, they'll get laid the second day. So it's not about game. I'm steering the LMS right into the women, right? No, it's not about that. If they don't get laid one day, if their LMS is high, they're above 20 out of 35, even though they deny it. They say they're ugly and shit, even though they may not look like the race they claim they are. But guess what? They're way over the line if they do look like a positive stereotype race. So they don't have to go and use as much game because the LMS is high and the status is high. There's enough strength in this thumb. And there's just enough here just to get over that, just to hit once in a while. Which is exactly what they're trying to teach you. You compare the amount of lay testimonials they have to my one. And I posted 62 now, I believe, on the videos. I got another 10 more by tonight if you want. I've just been busy. Then after that, I can add another 12 more. And after that, I can add like a bunch of screenshots ones. Then it'll be over 100. You know? And students get multiple results. So who gives a shit? How is my students getting models during COVID-19? This is what's getting models. It's not this. You think this fucking will get the old man fucking an 8 out of 10? You look at other students. How the fuck are these guys fucking models? And what about that Middle Eastern guy, that short little fuck? The guy who got stabbed in the chest 3 times because he was about to bang a model. I told him not to do it. And they stabbed him and he went to Turkey. He escaped from Europe, Eurotrashland, to a different place, to Turkey. Middle Eastern. 5'7". And he was using self-proclaimed high leg count guys' products before, no results. No results because it's a stupid game and he doesn't have that kind of LMS. He's only 5'7" for Daygame. Don't you get it? Not enough. And then what happened? He already had social skills. So he had this, not enough LMS, and he had tried to use game. It was hard for him to press the trigger. He just didn't have enough value. You know? It was flimsy, barely could hit anything. That was him before. He only got 2 girlfriends in the social circle. He'd been rejected by his whole social circle, even if he had social skills, because his LMS was just not high enough. But however, he learned what? This. Now he has 2. And within 7 days, boom, lay, as you saw in the testimonial. He spent 16 hours a day. He spent the first 10 hours working on the body language in front of the mirror. I was like, holy shit. Why 10 hours? I told him, you fucking work 10 hours if you want that result. If you're really tired of self-proclaimed high leg count guy not getting any results, then you better spend 10 hours doing this to correct your body language. Your fucking social calibration sucks shit. So he did that. Then the next 4 hours or so, he called out the women and he spent some time with them. So he hang around with the parties, hang around this and that. He had a female social circle, but he's rejected. See that? Social skills. Day 1, using social calibrations. Happy, fun, carefree, positive vibe. Like happier, the way he's talking and everything. All the women were just into him. And they're begging for him to drive them home. He was so happy. And the second day, learning how to breathe. So that way he could slow down his speech like the old man. Then when he learned how to breathe and he was more calm and relaxed like a natural, holy shit, the women just can't stop texting him, begging him to hang out on dates. He said, John, I've never experienced this in my life. And I was like, listen, motherfucker. This is not good enough that you're getting a few dates here and there. You have to get that fucking lay. So you can get your revenge and make that video testimonial and just calling out all the other dating coaches that fucked you over. Just as I have another student right now, an Indian guy, who did not get any results with self-proclaimed highly account guys mentorship or RSD. Same situation as here. I'm going to get him laid. Even if it's through Tinder, I won't count the testimonial. I will teach him how to date properly, pull, and close. And then afterwards, I'll teach him Daygame and then connect the funnel. So it's like more repair work again. More repair work. What the fuck are they teaching? Game and LMSing it. Most of the students are white. That's what the student says for the results. Which is true. But however, I don't have to be nasty about it. So it's all talk right now until I get him his lay, this Indian guy. When he gets his lay, then I'll talk about it. For now, I'm just going to zip it and just not talk. Because I don't talk. My student results do the talking for me. They do the talking for me. And that's how the other Middle Eastern guy, because now he has these two. 1 week late, guess what? Week number 2, he fingers a woman with red hair, but he could not get it up. He was about to have his second lay. Guess what happened the third week? A model was contacting him. She was so intrigued by his new behavior. And guess what happened? He started Snapchatting with her. He's like, John, I want to fuck this model. But her boyfriend's in jail. And she says, I'm allowed. Her boyfriend allows her to fuck other guys. And you know what I said? Motherfucker, this guy's a sociopath. They're going to fight with you. And he says, I can fight, John. So listen, you're 5'7", you're my height. I'm glad that we both know how to fight. But however, you're going to have to take on a lot of people, not just one. So he's like, I really want to fuck her. If you get in, like, I said to him, I already had a student that got stabbed because they were too good with women. When you deal with these crazy cycles, you know, this has happened before. You bear all responsibility. You write on the screenshot that Johnny Lee is not responsible if you try to go for the model. So he didn't go for the model. He Snapchatted back and forth. Her boyfriend got out of jail. So he finally left the jail and he says, why are you Snapchatting with my girlfriend? And you know, why are you doing this flirty shit? And then he had to fight. He broke somebody's eye. He fucked up somebody's eye. They're blind in one eye. And I can't believe that, you know, it happened. And then they stabbed him later on. 2 Middle Easterns and 1 Somali stabbed him in the chest 3 times. The knife 3 times. And so what happened was, after he got stabbed in the chest 3 times, I told him, you better start wearing your body armor or something. Getting some stab-proof body armor. And then he fled the country and he went back with his family in Turkey because he's Middle Eastern. But you can see by working on the social calibrations, he had the social skills. And even with his low LMS, now this becomes enough. Even though his LMS is not super high at 5'7" and bald. But don't you find that funny? All the bald students, for some reason, all bang women way above their look scale. Sometimes 4 to 6 points above their look scale. Consistently. That's the science of it. So they'll tell you whatever half truth. Oh, being bald's harder. Being bald's harder. I sincerely doubt they're really physically bald. Why would they make themselves bald? Maybe the answer is pretty simple. Raise the LMS. But regardless, what I'm trying to say is this formula is, and for the game part, it's very simple. Yes, afterwards, there is an escalation ladder. So we continue this part. Okay. This is like venues, right? Venues. And this is a pull location. So you can either use that John Elite escalation ladder, the John Wayne's escalation ladder, or you don't have to. You can use the flow drill, triangle flow drill. And when she opens up, you flirt and you touch, FT. Simple. If you do it at the right times, the warm becomes hot. You see that? It's a game of keeping her warm or hot. You see that? That means it does not take a long time to close for the students. It doesn't take a long fucking time. Because instead of just flirting all day, oh yeah, romantic sexual, flirt, 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 spike, 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 spike. So when they get her home, they get her drunk, so they don't have to deal with the objections. You understand that? So it doesn't even matter. All this shit here is unnecessary. As long as you get her home and alcohol, that's the conversion mechanism. That's not what I teach. I teach a sexual connection. So if you don't want to use the escalation ladder, you can also use the other ladder on top. It's parallel. So number one is called seeding the maneuver, SM. Okay? Seeding the maneuver. Number two is seeding the sexuality. Even with self-proclaimed high lay count guy and other people like Todd, just because you walk a woman home does not mean she's gonna fuck. That's what they call a dry pull. So if you just seed the sexuality, if you're tall and white, the women may know it's sexual. But when you're like the other Indian student who was a former self-proclaimed high lay count guy, he walked a woman home and nothing happened. Because he didn't seed the sexuality. He only seeded the maneuver, which is back at home. And the last one's objections dealing. And no, you don't need alcohol to deal with the fucking objections. So it has nothing to do with game. It has to do with Machiavellianism. If it's just the alcohol, which is a big thing, and it's all maneuvering, the escalation ladder is just for show. It's just for show. It's just for the students in boot camps. I teach it too. The real game is just basically maneuver her home. You don't have to, use alcohol. You can sexualize it and deal with objections. Spike her emotions at the right times, get her opening up. Once you can get all three pieces, it's automatic lay. It's that simple. So you're overcomplicating. That means you don't need everything. This is the first principle. It's the fundamental truth. The fundamental truth is very simple. 6 to 8 minutes. Doesn't even matter what the fuck you say. As long as you have the body language of the Elite 30 or Kaizen, it's already spiked. It's fucking stupid. And the social skills is what keeps her on the fucking line. You understand that? Is what keeps her on the fucking line. That's what keeps the line going forward. So it opens opportunities to flirt and touch, to keep it in warm or hot. And the only way to see that is to be able to see the indicators, not of compliance, because that's zombie game for mystery. You have, indicators of interest. Because she can give you positive reactions. Just like what she said to the old man. Oh, I love your fast speech. Yeah, I love it. Sure. She doesn't love his fast speech. She rejected him. So always look at what the woman does, not what the woman says. So you can look for other indicators of compliance. Never look at the face, because if you're in sales or something, the prospects can lie. They can say, oh yeah, that's a great product. I want to buy this laser gun shit, right? I want to buy this. They don't want to buy it. So they flake on you. They flake on you, just like when you ask for the phone number later on. It says, I'm going to send you the invoice. And then it flakes. It's the same thing. It's just like you texting her. And it's like, oh, it's 10%. Just focus on the logistics. Well, you're dealing with what objection here? The logistical, maneuvering. You're not dealing with the actual real objection, nor are you sexualizing it. Does that make sense? So they have no idea about using their stupid game with 3 lay testimonial. That's all they have. LMS and game. 3 fucking lay testimonials. I mean, set the bar low. Just let's make Tinder a thing. Let's make Tinder a thing. So for the people that are showing up, it's very simple. This is LMS right here. See, LMS and game. And you cannot shoot a gun that easily with it unless you're strong. You have high LMS and a strong grip strength. It's not that I'm weak. This is a 5-pound trigger pull. It's hard. But if you use social skills right here, SS, even with these two, you can still kind of aim it. It's not perfect, but it's a huge boosting, or, that's what we call looks maxing. And they give a lot of wrong advice out there. It was like, oh, the Blazers are all for like getting women who are like, this is why I disagree with, or for getting a girlfriend or a classier woman. No, Blazer is all about value. 20 out of 35. The Blazer gets them all. It gets the casual ones in the boot camps, as you can see with the students. It gets hotter women. It gets them all. It's like Pokemon. Gotta catch them all. Pokemon. It'll catch them all because it's value. So why use edgy fashion? It makes no fucking sense. Only one hairstyle worked. The old man did not have hair. Only one blazer worked. Only one dress shirt worked. Only one color pants worked. Only one shoe worked. One elevator shoe. Not heel lifts. So I just want to say that advice. I have to disagree with it because it's harmful. So anyways, I digress. So LMS plus social skills. You kind of get that lay in there. But then when you add social calibrations for the people new here. SC. Oh, you can aim this gun very easily. See that? Although it's not the most stable, emotionally stable, it'll still do it. And now when they have ashwagandha and taking vitamins for the adrenals, look at that. Now you have a smoother trigger pull. You get it? That means they don't have to work on their emotional intelligence that much. As long as they have the right facial expressions, the right body language, guess what happens? The word's congruent. It's not about more expression. It's about the congruency. So whenever I'm angry, I have to look angry. The eyebrows have to look like that. Whenever I'm sad, I have to look sad. Congruency is king. Congruency right here is king. Congruency is king. It's not about like, let's see. Yes. Yeah. So basically, you guys get the point? Everything you ever learn about game is just to have truth. You're going to be gaslighted. You're not going to get any results. You're going to be funneled into long-ass online programs. And then you're going to be funneled into boot camps. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with boot camps. But if you know the products don't work and they only have very few late testimonials, and you're such a big fan, instead of doing the 6 months shit, why don't you just go to their boot camp? You don't get laid, that's fine. You can always come back here, buy my products, and get the lay here. It's fine with me. Why buy their products if it doesn't work? That's what I'm saying. Why even? Are you stupid? Do you have your head so far up your ass? Are you that easily gaslighted? Do you understand this concept now, finally? It's not rocket science. It's 20 out of 35. The old man, basically, the reason why he could not get laid in 2020 is because he was losing his skills, his social skills and social calibrations. When he got it back in Kaizen, automatic lays. So it never was about game. Game was not enough. And that's the hard truth that nobody wanted to know. And he begged me, John, can I please come back? I want to take Kaizen again. And I made a chart over here. I made a chart. So cut the hair with the line. Just do exactly what I say. Too many fucking questions. You're only supposed to have 2 questions for elite access. I'm on YouTube Live right now. So this is the student that were a former self-proclaimed high lay count guy student, new Indian student. So he's getting his hair cut. He's going to somewhere else, a different city. And we already have the same barber that has cut the other students. So line, you need the line. So you never ever disobey anything from Johnny Elite. Every single piece counts. Every piece counts. So, all right. I'm going to show you a picture that's going to make a lot more sense of all this stuff. I think it's the second last post. 1 second. Maybe he's over here. Hopefully my website does work. It's just sort of, it's very simple. The picture just shows looks money, status, and game right here. See that? So can you see it? Hopefully it'll be clear. So over here, the first one says looks, height, wide shoulders, face equals value. So the word's value. You see that? Value. Right there. The second one, money is only out of 5. That means being rich looking is not enough. It's not about looking rich for the Blazers. It's about being whitewashed. Number 3 is about status, lifestyle. You see that? Status, lifestyle. That's out of 10. Natural status. Depends what race you look like. Social skills, 2.5. Social calibrations, 2.5. Emotional control, 2.5. Game, 2.5. That means no matter how much game they have, they always have to resort to emotions afterwards because game will hit a certain threshold. You see that? The pinky only has so much strength. That's not the unlimited one. You know why social skills is the most unlimited one? Because that's the trigger finger. That's the trigger finger. You get it? That's the trigger finger. This is the most important. Social skills. The trigger finger is the social skills. It is not this one. It's not this one. It's definitely not the game. It's this one. This is what helps keep the aim. This is how you can pull the trigger up to the wall. It's how you can accurately pull the trigger, reset the wall. It's all related to this. Social skills is unlimited. The whole general population has social skills. This is why they have like girlfriends so easily. This is why they have social circles. This is why the general population of blue pill is able to have a life because of social skills. But the inner circle is not zombies. They're humans. They're able to use the social skills to infiltrate the tribes. And even with the short 5'7" bald student, it was not enough. You need social calibrations like the naturals. All naturals have perfect body language. Don't you guys get it? And the game's not super complicated. I just told you what the game is. You know, just keep her on the warm and hot traffic, and that shortens the lay. What if it's so simple, John? It's just basically like picking a lock, or it's like walking a tightrope, or it's like a rock, paper, and scissors game. Timing, yeah. If you can do the timing right, everything is hot. Fast lay. Enough value, enough social skills, indicators, social skills, indicators of body language or social calibrations. Done deal. That's how all the students during COVID-19 are getting so much results. Nobody's learning this. If you want to learn this, yes, the London student later on bought the playbook, but he mastered Elite 30 first and the social skill flow drill. When he mastered those two, and when he bought the other one, then he got more results. Do you understand that? However, for the Middle Eastern guy, he got like 23 lays, all with Elite 30. So he's like, John, I like to try the playbook. He didn't do it because, oh, I need more game. It's more of a leisure activity. Hey, I want to give this a try, you know? I got your Elite 30 product. I got this much results. Hey, how's the playbook like, right? So he gave me cash. He left it outside my door. So and enabled a product for him. Then he got even more lays. He banged like, you know, a few more women, even a 19-year-old. But you always have to build these first before you build the game. Does that make sense? For the trigger, you have to build social skills first, LMS, social calibrations, ashwagandha, and lastly, the game. You get it? Now you have a complete trigger pull with accuracy. And that comes with the Elite 30 Elite Playbook. 6 Skypes. It's that simple. That's why my products work. But you don't need Playbook right away until you master the basics. So it's like a foundation in a building. You gotta dig downwards before you build upwards, you dumb fucking idiots. It's almost like a cake. You know, you gotta build the fucking dry cake first, which is Elite 30. The frostings is the fucking game. It's just this little fucking thing over here. It's kind of like this. All that little teases here and a little bit of the flirts. A little bit of objections dealing before the insta date. And social, you know, seeding the maneuver, seeding the sexuality. Objections, that's just a little bit of game. That's just the icing on the fucking cake, not the whole fucking cake. You don't aim the gun like this and just say, oh yeah, only certain people can do it. Maybe they have a tall token nation that can do it, And maybe they have a strong, barrel-chested, huge Asian. But everyone else, be damned, they won't have the strength to pull it. Never mind aiming it. And the rest is only the people that have enough LMS in certain cities, in certain locations they train at, spending 7 days there, eventually is going to get a target hit. Not everyone. You got to look at how many late testimonials do they have compared to me, compared to 481 divided. Then you know what percentage of the students will get laid. Because it's not the same system. They only teach game. They don't teach this stuff. Mic drop or gun drop. That's all I got to say for today. Hope you guys learned a lot. This is not the half-truth pill. It's time to learn these three. Fuck this one. Cut this one off. Because this one, I didn't focus on it that much or at all. But John, isn't all these results? No. Game is a big gimmick design because it's like this, Stop talking about game because you want to talk about, stop talking about fashion. You can't sell fashion or looks or people is going to be confused, right? Because you need to focus on the game. That's what they're going to buy. You focus on the fashion and you talk about the looks, you're going to confuse the people. So I sorry, just went back in old memory. But that's the truth. It's like the game is what gets the people to open their wallets. Nobody wants to learn social skills. Everyone wants a shortcut. But for a lot of people, like these fast-talking cortisol Vietnamese students with no looks, some with no height, they can't even pull the fucking trigger. Game. More game. The biggest fucking lie of all time. The biggest secret Johnny Elite reveals about the whole industry. If you tell the zombies it is game, it is actually the zombies' fault. Because the zombies are ADHD. The zombies have no focus. The zombies... Thanks for the information. Very helpful. Yeah, no problem. Because the zombies have no fucking focus. The zombies are not smart. You see how intelligent I am? I'm not even exaggerating. I'm a genius. But I can still explain this stuff to you. This stuff compared to what they're teaching, they're like teaching grade 1 level shit. And who has the best analysis in the world? After one fucking Skype, the London student gets laid. 2 Skypes, 5 fuck buddies, 3 Skypes, models. Filipino student, which I'll post next. 1 Skype poll, right? Almost got laid. He didn't know he's supposed to. She was giving him hints to fuck, but he didn't get it. 2nd Skype, lay. Another Filipino, 150 lays, 1 Skype. Black student, 1 Skype, a bunch of lays. Because you guys are not using your Skypes, because you're know-it-alls. You guys actually believe you're very intelligent, you zombies. That's why you like Todd Valentine shit. Because you feel like it is complicated, it's technical, gamey game. Because the big reason is because you have no social skills. You believe by using this stupid Julian Blanc 3 vibe game where you self-amuse and just like, oh yeah, I want to snort coke off of my dick and ask a question. Are you from Vancouver? Then another self-amusement, right? Asian guy talking to a white girl and the white girl talking to an Asian guy. It will never happen again. How old are you? Fucking autistic sounding shit. But for you guys, it's like, oh my God, that's so complicated. That's so complicated. You know what? It doesn't have to be complicated. Social skills flow drill is only 3 steps. But the zombies have to take 1 week just to be able to do it. 1 fucking week of consistent training, or 2 weeks, is not easy. That's way more advanced. It doesn't look more advanced. It doesn't have to be complicated. Technical game is only there to confuse you. Johnny Lee is more technical than any other dating coach out there. If you heard how technical I really am, you're going to be scared. But I don't need to confuse you. I just have to tell you the science of what actually works during COVID-19. This is the real science. They're just there to confuse you. Hey, John, is gray hair on guys a turn off for girls? Don't care once your game is good? In reality, Dr. Phil, you want to make sure that you get rid of the gray hairs. I have a little bit here, and it's growing rapidly because I'm older. But I would recommend that you hide the gray hairs. You hide the gray hairs. So I have to bleach his shit out. So I highly recommend, do not have gray hairs. It's unfortunate. I've always had gray hair since I was 20. I don't have gray hair. I got white hairs. You see that? It's all white, even the beard. There's no gray, just white. It's like, what the fuck? Hide it. Hide it as if your life depends on it. If you look like Italian, for example, or you look Jewish, or you look like you are not white, you better wear blue contact lenses or something. Does that make sense? Because white is right, Dr. Phil. Hide the fucking gray hairs and look white as shit. Or it becomes harder. You might have like a 6 out of 10 SMV if you don't look white. But if you look white, it's easier. So, yes. Let's see, student texting me yet? Yeah. All right, I think that's all I want to say for today. I figure if I don't make a video, then I might not make one. How about let's make it to 1 hour and 30 minutes? I hope you guys are learning a lot today. I'm not spinning anything. I'm not even looking at a script. I'm just saying off the top of me head. I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm just spitting out the truth, preaching the fucking gospel. Stop being fucking zombies. Marco, we'll talk later today. Okay? We have to talk about the social skill flow drill. I know I've been putting this off with too many students, but you got to get that lay in front of everyone. You know, you want to get that 10 fuck buddies like the other London guy, then you better start even practicing Elite 30, dude. Seriously, Marco. So yeah, if you guys like it, give it a thumbs up. And I just want to tell you about my program recently. Kaizen has been very successful. So with the old guy, right? That's great. But one student quit, which is unfortunate. This man is the real deal. When I practice the skills, I get results. Exactly. Which student are you? Are you a Spanish student? Are you Indian? Maybe don't tell people who you are, but if you got results under my training, did you train under me with a Skype, or do you like just on YouTube Live? It's not surprising. A couple of you got like Latino from. I think I know who you are. Are you the guy who's bald or something, and you have like a mustache, and you have like a pickup truck? Skype, yes. Yeah, you're that guy. So congratulations on your results on your lay. So you can always tell me what happened. Yes, I remember all the students, you know that? Another student today wanted to buy my course and was like, do you remember me, John? I said, of course I remember you. I remember everyone. I got proof to show. Excellent. Send it to me. You want to make a video testimonial? That's great. Marco did not make one, but Marco had 2 girlfriends, and he kept one of them until now. So he got 2 girlfriends at the same time. So if you want to send it to me later on, contact me again, either through Skype or whatever, and send me the pics. And I can always throw it up there in the Hall of Fame, because you want to make sure that many females, proof of lay, sweet. So you got multiple results. Send it to me on either Facebook or WhatsApp or Skype. I'll screenshot it and then I'll post it up there. But yes, videos and photos, where I send it to. Where do you contact me before? Were you talking to me on Facebook or WhatsApp? Or were you talking to me on Skype? I remember I did talk to you over Skype, but what's Facebook? Oh, my Facebook is John Doe 7431. No. Yeah, John Doe. I'll send you a link. Maybe contact me and message there, and we'll talk. Okay. On the Skype, you can always send me a message. Say, hey, John, it's me. Then that's my Facebook. Hopefully it does open. But yes, but congratulations on your multiple lays. And yeah, so it's not I'm not surprised, I am the John Elite, the world's best Daygame coach. So yeah, excellent. I look forward to it. Later on, I'll check it out and I'll screenshot it and I'll just post it on the blog. Just tell me the story of how you got those lays and, roughly like where do you meet them, stuff like that. How did the lay happen? Then put it on a screenshot and then post it on the blog or something. That would be really awesome. You see that? This is what happens when you get taught by John Elite. You don't become like a zombie. So him and Marco, Latino students, got lays. So that's great. It's like over time, I've noticed all the old students using my products. They always come back and he's like, John, I got like 2 girlfriends, right? Or John, I got like a couple lays. John, I got like a fucking so many fuck buddies. It's not an uncommon story. Learn social skills, social calibrations first, and lastly, learn the playbook afterwards on top of it, but do not focus on the playbook first. That's another problem with the Asian students. You know, the Asians come up to my course, and because they're autistic zombies, so they want to learn the lines. So they go right to the playbook. Oh, I'm going to learn this line. Excuse me real quick. I have a question. Oh, you look like you have sexy legs. I don't use lines in my fucking game. I use the algorithms. Tease, just make up a tease. As long as your tonality's up here, it sounds like a tease. Connection. As long as you talk like this, at this speed, it sounds like connection. You know, flirting. No matter what I say, when I go lower and slower, it actually sounds like a flirt. You see that? It's not rocket science, guys. Come on now. You've literally been given the best game in the world. And they're like, my product is the best. Yeah, best my ass. Where's the fucking late testimonials? And how come the old products of theirs didn't work during COVID-19? It's like, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. I'm just here to preach the gospel. Right now it's 1 hour and 30 minutes. So I'll see you on the Facebook. Marco, later tonight, we're going to be Skyping. Is the Facebook group I post? No. You post it privately to me. You understand that? So you send me a message on my profile. Okay? I still remember your name. You say, hey, John. So I think on Facebook, there's a way you can send me a message. You can just click on my profile, and there must be an option somewhere that says, like, you know, send a picture or something, or send a message. So there's a message button, it's a blue color. You understand that? Exactly. So just send me the pictures there, and just, you know, label them who is who, and, you know, how many of the lays, where do you bang them, you know, all the details that I need to, you know, and then that'd be great. So, and yeah, when did it happen? Were these during COVID, or is it before COVID? So it doesn't matter. Just tell me later. I'm sure it's all good. So you're gonna be 482nd late post testimonials. Congratulations, you're finally part of the Hall of Fame. So before and after. Well, that's good. You see that? So he got laid during COVID, and he got laid before. Unlike the other dating coaches courses, where they claim is the best, their old courses don't even work during COVID-19. My courses work. So therefore, it is the cure. It is not the long, drawn-out treatment. So why do I have to make new courses if they already work? Exactly. You're going to be shocked. Well, I've seen some real crazy shit from a lot of students. Let's just say that. If it's like, are they like super hot or something? Are they like stripper quality or model quality? Like students that send me so many lay pics and videos, nothing shocks me anymore. You know, like I got so many fucking lay videos and lay pics. I don't even post the videos because I can't. I just make a screenshot of it and censor it. But I got so many. Supermodel. Oh, fuck yeah. And you're not that good looking as a person. You're just like around like 5 or 6 out of 10. And you're bald. Oh yeah, here's another thing, right? You're also another one of my bald students. So are supermodels, right? Are they around like 9 or 9.5? If that's the case, then you see that. I always say 4 to 6 point jump. So if he's around like a 5, I think this student surpassed the teacher. Well, we'll see. I have to see the pictures where they're not supermodels. I'm 5'7", and they're 10. If that's the case, then congratulations. Then yeah, if it's 10 like that, and that's that. I'm just saying, I'm very impressed. So that'll be like a London student. His girlfriend's a hot as shit. But if your one is like that, then I say congratulations. My course got you a 10. But I have to see if it's a 10 or not. But yeah, so another bald student, 5, gets a woman 5 points above if it's a 10. Let's say hypothetically speaking. So once again, when they tell you that being bald is harder, it's the half-truth pill. It's the half-truth pill. 5'7", bald. Yeah, you know what? If you make a video testimonial about this, right? Let's say we see all this stuff, then it'll be great because you'll be another bald student, right? With killer results, you'll prove the whole point that being bald does not hurt your results, because that's the whole bullshit half-truth pill. It almost seems like the bald students do even better with my game. It's almost like an advantage to be bald using my game or my social skills and social calibrations. All right. Contact me now so that we can check it out. Let me check. Message request. Yeah, just send it to me. I'm going to end the live stream now. I just want to say that success leaves clues. Johnny Lee is the best. Train with me. Do you want to make a video testimonial, or you think screenshots okay? I wouldn't mind having another student video testimonial because it's during COVID too, right? I learned how to dress because of you and learn how to talk like a man. I would say your self-improvement teaching is what helped a lot. That's great. Hey, since you got laid during COVID-19, right? How about make a video testimonial? Because if you're bald, right, 5'7", then it makes a lot of sense, because I'm posting a lot of bald students recently. I'll post more. They're all getting models. You know, they're all like, you know, gaming models, game models. And the 5'7" guy almost got models. The Latino guy, I mean the Middle Eastern. He got stabbed 3 times. I told him not to do it. If being bald makes it easier, then the world has to know that. So you want to make a video testimonial? Just turn the camera to the side and just say whatever, and, and then I'll censor all the screenshots and stuff. I think that'll be awesome. So, yes. I learned how to dress because, yeah, like I said, the fashion matters a lot. It has to be very, very calibrated. So I was bald, but I got something called microblading. My other Middle Eastern student, his hair, right? It looks like he has hair, is microbladed. So I know what you're talking about. It's tattooed on. He doesn't actually have real hair, but it's tattooed on. But regardless, you're still bald technically. It's so little. It's still kind of like you are physically bald. So you're still another bald testimonial. So so is the other guy. I still call him bald because you guys are bald. Because if you look at it close enough, right, you can see it's like pigmentation. And he told me all about it. Micropigmentation. I was bald, but I got something. Yeah. All right. Contact me then, or if you can't figure it out, use the Skype. Whatever it takes to contact me. I like to see the screenshots. And I think that'll be an awesome, like, make a video testimonial, dude. You got this COVID results. Make a video testimonial. Then maybe people will listen to me about the fashion. They'll listen to me about the social skills, social calibrations, all these other skills. So, yeah. I mean, it's good timing. It's good timing you're here. It's good to see you again after all these years. You know, I think I have a lot of old students that got so much results too. So I have a lot of old students that got a lot of results. It's not surprising. I bet there's like there are so many. Like, we'll be way past 500 and something label testimonials. If there are old students that trained under me before, and you guys have all these girlfriends, models, fuck buddies, all this stuff, let me know. I'll remember who you are. I remember every student I train. So you're all very important to me. So John, remember, it's not about the money. I remember all of you. I remember what I taught you guys. I remember all this stuff. So are you still living in the same place? I know where you lived before. I have a lot of students there. Or have you moved? Well, you guys get the point. You guys get the point. 39 and dating young hot chicks. Yeah, exactly. Not surprising. Just like the other 52-year-old man. You know, older guy, younger women. Johnny Elite's game. Or skills, fashion, all that stuff. Not so much about gamey shit. So, yeah, it's not surprising. It's not surprising to me. So I expect that. Also, write down the age of all the women that you banged. You know what I mean? So I kind of know when you send me the screenshots. Try sending to me right now. Bookmark my Facebook, and then, you know, send it to me. Don't forget. No, I moved on truck. I still remember that was your old job before. That's why I said something about truck driving. So John remembers everything because the students are very important to me. So, yeah. Well, regardless, that's all I say. If I talk any longer, people will drift off. I hope you guys are inspired now and realize that only Johnny Elite's products, Kaizen services, Inner Circle, you know, elite access. All my courses, they always have late testimonials. Every student, not every student, not elite access. All the other courses, every student, except one, cortisol fuck. Not much time, but I'll send you a few minutes. Sure, sounds great. So we'll discuss it then. I still want your video testimonial, dude. I still want your video testimonial. That'd be awesome during COVID-19. So that would be really amazing because you can stack all the bald students together and make a collage. That's what I want to do. And they all bang women double their look scale and or more and younger. Every one of them. So yes. I'm gonna stop that right now. I'm gonna stop the video. Congratulations and success leaves clues. Johnny Lee's the best Daygame coach in the world. And changed the world. And for all the Asians out there who are just like, oh yeah, I gotta, suck off like tall dating coaches that are Asians and sleep on their chest. Because that's what they love to do. They're like Asian women. I just want to say, all the other races, they train under me. If you take me for granted, all the other ethnicities are just like, fuck yeah, I want that kind of results. So anyways, I'll see you on the Facebook. John Elite out.